Hello everyone, it's Diane. I am going to do a stacked pocket page. That's what I'm calling it. I've done these before. I know you've seen them before. I'm not the only one that does them. I'm sorry, I'm just getting my punch. So I'm still working on the recipe books, cookbook journals. I cut some craft cardstock 4.5 inches wide after measuring my page. Make sure it would fit on there. And I think they're 3 inches. Can't remember now. These two are 3 inches, I think. No, that must be more than that. Nope, that's 3 inches. And then I cut this one a little bit shorter so that something could be in it without sticking out over the page. And I've already inked around the edges. So I'm gonna just use my tab punch for a change instead of the circle punch, and just kind of punch a little shallow thumb pull there. And I'll just ink a little bit where I just punched. My craft cardstock is curly. I don't know why. I bought a pack of it at Hobby Lobby. And it's on my paper storage. So it's stored horizontally, but it sits there like this, all curled up. But I'm going to sew it down so it'll be fine. So I'm going to stack them like so. To move it down a little bit. I could cut them smaller so that there'd be a little, no, I don't want a little space between them. So I'm going to leave them like that. And I will sew the top one first, since the other ones have to go on top of it. But first, I'm going to put some decorations on them. This is an image from the old design shop. So I am just going to sew that on here. I should probably ink around that too. And I think I'll just use the straight stitch for this. Then for this one, I have these little cards that came in a pack from 7 Gypsies. I've had them for a long time, and now I am finally going to use them. I have this little label that I got at a flea market, and it's a current label from the current catalog, and it has a colander with some vegetables in it and some lines for writing, and it fits on there, so I'm going to sew that on there. and then I'll sew it to this. It goes up above that little notch just a bit, so I did punch a little bit out of that, just barely. I always know when my bobbin's getting low because for some reason it starts jumping more. It makes a lot more noise and jumps in there a little bit when it's getting low. It kind of drives me nuts. And then this one, I'm just going to put this card on. So I'll need to notch that a little bit too. Actually, I'll just trim it with scissors. And there we have our 3 pockets. Now we just have to sew them on. Line them all up so I know just where to sew the top one. It's going to have to be something small in there. Oop. I think my bobbin's at the end. Well, I guess it's still sewing. I wanted the stitches to show up in this journal, so... Oh, darn. I see what the problem was. I can't sew those things on here because I have a pocket sewn on and I just sewed right through an index card. These are things we must pay attention to. Looking for my seam ripper. So I should have sewn those pockets on before I sewed this on because I could sew this on and not hurt the other pockets. That was foolish. But I know you guys like it when I leave in the mistakes, so you know. So you know that we make mistakes. So now I can finish sewing this pocket in. It won't hurt this pocket. I just took stitches out of it, so I have to sew it back in. the other pockets will have to be glued in. So I'm going to stitch around them to give the impression that they're sewn in. This one, yeah, I definitely have to glue them. So I'll just sew around the edges. I think I'll use a zigzag stitch for these. So when I make the page for stacked pockets in the second journal, I'll be sure to do the stacked pocket page before I do the other side. Let me get my glue. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue because I think that'll work better on this heavier cardstock with the thread, because sometimes I have a little trouble getting things with thread in them to glue down. Oop, I wanted this one down here so you could use the whole card for writing. And I like having this picture of the colander in the middle. See, it doesn't really want to glue down. Hold it for a few seconds while it dries. There you go. Oop. Nope, it's popping up. Make sure all this glue is gone down here so that this top part doesn't get glued down. We're almost done. Then I'll just have to figure out what's going to go in those pockets. So I don't think I'll be doing stacked pockets in every signature. I think each signature will have a different type of pocket page. The white glue dries faster, but I'm thinking this will stick better in the long run. I could be wrong. The white glue might have been just fine. Alright, now I'm going to figure out what I want for another pocket page, and I will be back.